we are the sponsors of this glorious video. If you want to help out the Battle Hammer before we start our gaming goodness...
But this normally goes at the end of a video.
I know, we've moved it.
Why?
Because we can.
Oh.
So if you want to help us out, we have various ways you can do that, and I'll put them in the doobly-doo crotch box down below.
Can I just interrupt a moment and say...
You can.
The backdrop does not look like the Battle Cave.
It does not, because we are at Wildstorm Games!
Why are we at Wildstorm Games?
Well, because
it's our favourite game shop.
It is, and they're one of our sponsors in the doobly-doo down below. If you go to buy stuff through that doobly-doo for Wildstorm Games, you'll get potentially an extra discount, and then we get a little pat on the back as well, so that's super nice. So if you want to help us out, you can do that. What are other ways they can help us out? Patreon. We have a Patreon thing. You can go onto there and you can donate as little as $1 a month.
You tight bastards.
If you do 5, you become a Battle Hammer Booze Hound and get extra special hugs from us.
And if you donate $1 million,
then you're
no idea what
rich and
stupid.
I probably will last a week because I'll have drank myself to death probably.
And all the little midgets with their drugs on trays.
Drug trays. Yeah,
it would not be good. So there's Patreon. So not only that, but if you go on Patreon, you can just do a one-off payment.
If you want to,
donation.
You can do a one-off payment, and then you can immediately cancel it, and then you'll have done
once we've got the money, obviously.
Send us your fucking money.
Send us your fucking money.
We've also got an Amazon wish list.
We do.
So you can go to the link down below, the Amazon wish list, and there's a bunch of stuff that we are hoping to film in the future and games we want to play, and you can just go, hey, I think they should have that, and then buy it for us there. It'll get sent to this mark.
I did put the Superstar Destroyer on that.
Did you?
Yeah,
just in case.
Yeah, just in case someone feels really rich who goes, what the hell.
Good call. Now, what else is there? There is a Wayland Games affiliate link. If you do your shopping from Wayland Games, then you can go via that, and then we get a little pat on the back from them as well, which is super nice, so you can do that. The other one is coffee. KO-FI, I think it is. You can just buy us a coffee, which would be a one-off donation of, I think it's $3.
$3 or something?
So, you know, you can buy us a beer, so you can go through that as well.
Yes.
Also, there's our social media links. There'll be a link to our Facebook page and our Twitter feed as well.
And Instagram?
Possibly.
We've got one of them as well.
We've got an Instagram account, yes we do.
Cool.
So they're all the ways you can help us and
get in contact with us.
Back to your regularly scheduled programme. Back to the studio.
Back to the studio.
Yeah. Ahoy hoy!
Ahoy hoy!
He's Straw.
He's Parker.
And together we are
the Battle Hammer. And today it's time for
do monthly mumble, do monthly mumble, do monthly mumble, do. Yeah,
cheers.
It's that time of the month again.
28.
Where I bleed from my uterus.
28.
Countings, numbers.
It's number 28.
If you say so, I'll take your word for it.
Oh man!
I'm not going to call you a liar. Liar! 2 years and some we've been doing this then. The
mumbles,
years.
yes,
Wow.
obviously. Plus the live ones we did.
Time flies when you're
being bummed.
Yeah.
So, what should we mumble about?
Well, you did bring up a thing.
Spitball.
A spitball. Because there have been some. Because Gamma Trade Show is a thing that's going on in America, which is like for wargaming and miniatures and board games, but it's just the trade people. It's not like the common scum. That can
Scum!
And Games Workshop, that Leviathan of miniature wargaming, has shown off some new stuffs.
The new Book of Blades?
Oh yeah, Book of Blades.
For Escher, for Necromunda.
Yeah.
The new Escher figures.
Yeah, which look really, really nice.
The new Enforcer figure with her dog.
Robo dog.
Fabius Bile's been teased, hasn't he?
Oh yeah! Yeah, I've always had a bit of a thing for Fabius Bile. I just think he's wicked. Like, I love that, like, narratively, he's like, okay, I'm gonna tool around with people and fuck them out with them and create mutants and whatnot. You know, and even the Emperor's children like, he's like, fine, I'll fuck off on my own then. Whatever. Do you know what I mean? He's just like, I don't give a shit. I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm creating the perfect Marine, and a lot of people are now saying this could lead to Primaris being in
Chaos.
which is possible.
And speaking of Primaris,
Ragnar Blackmane, that dude, the old Grand King of the. Oh no, he's not. He's
the Young King.
the young king. He's the. What's the word? He's not the big chief. He's the next one down, and he's one like head of a.
He will. He's
campaign.
head of one of the
How?
houses. No, houses. Tribes. Claws.
Yeah, whatever.
He will be the boss one day. But I just.
Because him and Gazkul are fucking going toe to toe in the new Psychic Awakening, which is the new kind of part of the narrative that they're moving forward, right?
Yeah.
You're not a fan of the Ragnar Blackmane model?
I'm not. If I'm brutally honest, I'm not. One, I just get fucked off when Marines get turned up into Primaris Marines. That's just bullshit.
This goes up to 11.
Just bullshit. Just fuck off. I don't care. Oh, well, they've been working on them for so long. I don't care. They're just bollocks. It's just a reason for Games Workshop to re-release bigger Marines.
Why not make 10 bigger? This goes up to 11.
I don't care. I just don't. I don't care. The face on the figure is amazing. The sword is finally a nice version of the sword, but he's jumping off a rock. Fuck off. I'm tired of Marine leaders and things jumping off of things.
Did you see the meme that was floating around where like, oh, we need to bring balance to 40k, and the art went, oh, we've got this, and then it's just lots of miniatures standing on rocks because balance. It's quite funny. Yeah, I really like the model, but I don't like him on that jumping off the thing going like all the others seem to be. But I think it's a really nice update of the original. You can really tell where they've taken inspiration from the original.
Yeah, I mean the original,
kind of like Abaddon, you know, that kind of thing.
But I mean, if I can get it from somewhere cheap on its own, I'll get it. Obviously, being a Space Wolf player, but
not bothered.
What do you think of Gazkul though?
So this was a thing I was going to bring up earlier on, and then we. So I really like Gazkul to a point. I think the model's amazing. I think he's like Gazkul up to 11. You know, he's bigger. He's got more shooters, and he's got his big claw and everything else. But one thing that is starting to really bother me, mostly with GW stuff, but when it comes to like painting and taking photos of models, they talk about the golden angle, right? So this is the angle that the model is designed to be looked at from, right? So Gazkul's got this weird kind of sidewaysy, like he's one of madness, da, 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 right? And so many models are designed to be like a display piece. You look at it like this, and it looks really cool. And then why has it got this weird thing? Like we were talking about the Beasts of Nurgle. Like they're all in this kind of really cool pose, which looks great as one model, but when you've got them all lined up like this, and it's really starting to get on my tits that so many of these models are designed to be like, oh wow, this looks amazing, like he's, oh, but then like as a playing piece, when you don't look at it like that because it's on the table and it's faced in every different direction, and it just kind of going, "Bam, look at me from a perfect two-dimensional side." I would rather have, which is actually something I know that we are obviously big fans of Wildest Exodus, but I was looking at I think it's Sierra Icarus from the Wayward Eight, which is Inara from Firefly. The way that she's looking coy to this side, kind of showing her butt, but she's got a sneaky knife, you know, and so from all of the angles, you can see there's something going on, you know.
Yeah, but you have even started moaning about fucking Wexter's miniatures.
Only because they're so good. They're so good that I'm now intimidated to paint them. It's just like, oh, I can't do this. I just want like a coat without any blip.
Yeah, can we have less bling, please?
Less bling, less straps. I just want a coat. That's just me as a painter.
Can you imagine half of these people in their gear going to bed at night? Like, I've got to go to bed an hour earlier. Why? Just for the buckles.
Yeah.
You'd be there forever, wouldn't you?
How many straps do you need?
Yeah, you know, this detail's all well and good, but oof. Give us a break when we're trying to paint them.
Yeah,
that's why I'm interested to see the new Mythos minis, to see what they've done with those, because the minis themselves originally were very simple, weren't they?
Yeah, yeah.
There wasn't much to them, so I'd be interested to see how they've upgraded them.
And also, I think that you can have detail without it being bling. Like you can have a cloak that's got a really interesting flow to the fabric, or the pose can be like, you can have musculature and stuff like that. That is detail.
Yeah.
But isn't just little bitty bits. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Why have 1,000 pouches when you can have 2 pouches with a cool little bit? That, like something coming out like a book or something. Then you're like, okay, well now I don't have to paint as much, but it still looks interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gas Coal is starting to GW do it more than I've seen anyone do it. It's fucking annoying.
I remember from the very first Age of Sigmar box, the corn ones against the thingy. You've
got
that Cargraph team, and it's exactly the same pose.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's that, and you'll see, now I've said it, you'll fucking see it everywhere with GW stuff.
What do you think of the new elves?
Uh,
Ponce is the word I'm looking for.
I don't really care.
The one balancing on the rock, cross-legged.
I kind of like that.
It's the composition of it is very clever.
Yeah, yeah.
I like the balance and everything, the way it's all done. But then when you get Teclis floating above the Sphinx, I'm like, that's the biggest pile of shit I have ever seen. And the Bowman?
The Bowman with the 3
strip.
No.
What the fuck?
No.
I
imagine, I wonder if there are people, because obviously GW is a company made of many people, right? And yes, you've got designers and sculptors and whatnot, but there must be people in there going, it's just against the laws of physics. I know that it's a fantasy game and everything else, but it's like, someone's there going, people are going to fucking hate this. Someone must have said that at some point. They've had to tick these boxes. They've had various different people doing the artwork, various people doing the design work, sculpting work.
How did this 3 fucking string bow get through?
How the fuck did that get through?
Why the horses look like they're on dressage?
Yeah.
Why have they got horses?
And actually, this was a conversation I can't remember who was talking about it. Someone on the interwebs, and they were saying like, I get why the horses are like that, because actually a real horse, its most extended, does look like that. However, it doesn't sit right in the head when you see it on the table, because that's that one, out of all of these microseconds of movement, that is like the most extended point. And yes, it happens, but now it looks like it's fucking hovering around. You know what I mean? Like,
hover horses, wow.
Yeah, I don't think there is that
Nah,
realism versus coolness. You have to have realism to a degree, i.e. no weird 3-string bows that don't make sense. But you also need to have the coolness to not go, everything has to be perfectly real, why does the fucking horse look like it's flying around? Because it's going... Do you know what I mean? And of course the problem...
Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's Super Horse!
Yeah. I mean, and obviously GW, they're making so many models. Not everything's
They really are turning them out, aren't they?
Yeah,
it's getting fucking worse.
Yeah, I'm not really... The elves, I'm just...
I don't like elves anyway, so I'm okay.
Yeah. I mean, I used to when I was a kid and I thought it was all cool. Like, I think everyone likes elves when they're young and they're like, oh, elves, they're so... And then you're like, fuck them.
Pops, fucking pointy pricks.
Yeah, they're fucking special.
Nah, don't like them.
But yeah, I think I worry that miniatures are becoming more like monoposy. I mean, monopose is fine, but like for a 75mm display piece, obviously you want all of that character to come across in the model, so the pose has to make something. But for a gaming piece, like the old Gascol was just fucking stomping forward, looking hardcore and fucking brutal, whereas this one's like mid-pose, and it just doesn't kind of feel right.
That's the problem, isn't it? It's just, you need to be able to feel it right. You need to look at it and go, yeah, I like that, from all the angles, not just that.
And I don't know if it feels... I don't know if it feels like Gascol, or if it just feels like a big orc dude.
Yeah, I see where you're going with that.
Well, I don't know.
I've always seen Gascol as a big stompy orc stomping.
Yeah.
Right, this one looks like it's la la la.
Yeah.
As you said, the original like.
Yeah.
I don't feel that. I mean, the gun. When I first looked at it, I was like, yeah, I quite like that. But now I look at it more, I'm like, oh no, I'm really going off of it. I like the way the bullets are trailing on the belt because he's moving
There are cool
it.
bits.
But I'm like, no, Wilson.
I think sometimes when you're trying to tell a story with a miniature, you can almost go too far, and then it doesn't look right on a table. Like, okay, cool, it looks, I can see why he's doing this, and it's in the pose against the other guy, and then, and that's a great little diorama piece. But then you put it on a table, on a gaming table, and it's like, why the fuck is he doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially with GW, like, so, you know, going back to War Cradle models, there's one that I can think of. I think it's one of the Warrior Nation. She's jumping off a thing with her axes in the air, ready to come down. But that's one model out of a range. Like, now we're seeing it in GW, like, with every fucker. Like, they're all jumping off a rock or balancing on a thing, or it's like...
Yeah, can we just have their feet on the ground?
Yeah, and also if you want to do a personal, you know, oh great, I've got my personal army with its personal, like, they do these, not stands, like for army things.
Armies and parade, yeah.
That's it, yeah.
None of them, they've got no rocks. They're inside a building.
Yeah, like, oh
Oops.
fuck, what am I going to do now? Now I've got to chop it to bits and take all the fucking shit off and rebase it completely. And that's just, I mean, maybe I'm like, oh no, poor me, fucking first world problems, but it is a bit
We are
annoying.
just whinging, aren't we? It's a mumble after all, we're allowed to
It is
whinge.
just what we do.
If there's something we don't like, we're allowed to whinge about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not as...
But you're alright,
Excited
you've
by
got
the
your medical
new-
stuff, that's all you need to worry about.
Yeah, but I mean, like I look at when I used to look at new GW models, I was like, wow, it's fucking amazing. I've never seen anything like it. It's so cool. And now I'm like, oh yeah, I don't really get why he's doing that, but fine. Do you know what I mean? I'm not as, and that's obviously as a part of that is because I don't play 40k anymore.
It's because we've been spoilt by other miniature companies, things like Wexodus.
And there are
stuff
so
like
many
that.
companies that all have different, you know, even like looking at like things that Annie does, Bad Squiddo Games.
Or any of the Barrels and Badgers things, you know, these one-piece metal things.
Yeah, and I've got kind of a certain nostalgia to that, and it's like, oh nice, One Piece, just got a coat and some trousers on and a hat. Wicked, love it, love the simplicity of it, you know, the simplicity of the design.
And then I think the simpler it is, it allows you to express more with your painting. Because you know, if they're wearing just a simple tunic or something, well then you can start getting a bit tarty and put stripes and stuff on it, and you can start to mess around with your colours and your blending. You can't do that if there's lots of pipings and stuff. It just gets in the way.
It does. And it makes
We are in a right moany mood today, aren't we?
A lot of times it makes you feel worse as a painter, because when you see like, oh, you're painting this guy and it's like, right, okay, he's got, I don't know, X straps with X pockets and stuff, and you can't get to where you want to get to, and you kind of like, oh, well, cool, that looks shit. Whereas if it's just blue, you can do a bit of blending and kind of experiment with it, and it looks alright. It doesn't look as good as that guy, but it looks alright. Whereas if it's super complicated and you can't do it, then you just can't do it and it looks weird. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, we are getting to that point with Games Workshop figures, I think. You know, it's too much.
Yeah.
Too much into it, and you're like, just go back to a little bit simpler, please.
One thing I have appreciated what they've done though is when they've, maybe not with Gazkal, but with Ragnar, with Abaddon, with, at least it looks like with what we're seeing from Fabius Bile, is they look like updated versions of old minis rather than completely redone nonsense.
Yeah.
Like, Abaddon looks fucking cool, like he should have always looked like that. And he would have looked like that if they could have done that at the time.
Yes, obviously.
And the same sort of, what I've seen, there's a few like snippets of Fabius Bile. I'm like, well from what I've seen, I'm like, well that looks like his gun, that looks like his shoulder pad, and that looks like his coat, and I'm like, yeah.
His little helper pulling the jeans seat out of the
so good.
Marine it is really
And
good.
that's a really nice little story in and of itself, because you can tell from the helmet it's a Primaris Marine. So clearly he's harvesting Primaris gene seed, which is like building into the story, and that sort of thing's wicked.
I just think they've taken a long time to tell the story. I know it's 40k and everything, but you know, their narrative has now finally started to move forward, hasn't it, with the Primaris Marines and all of that rubbish. But I'm like, yeah, I should have done that fucking years ago. The story.
Yeah, I think. I mean, the problem is the story's been led by wanting to sell new toys. Space Marines are their biggest seller. They are number one, like by far, biggest seller.
Yeah.
Especially if you take Chaos into the equation. Even if you don't, Space Marines are still number one. And you can't sell more Space Marines if there aren't any new Space Marines. And if you do release new Space Marines, well, why do I need to buy them? Because I've got old Space Marines. Whereas with Primaris Marines, you are more inclined to buy them because they're new and they're different. So it's kind of the only way they could go. Like, do you know what I mean? It's the only way they could do it.
Yeah.
And they do look fucking cool.
Oh yeah.
So most of them. Some of them look weird.
Oh, them shitty jetpacky ones with the... Oh, just come on, think about your model sometimes. Right. Can we go on to something happier, for God's sake?
Yeah.
Oh no, just go on to something happier. We're a right fucking grumble, haven't we? Games Workshop. Which is stupid because I've been playing a lot of Sigmar recently.
Yeah.
And really enjoying it. I just said that in public, didn't I?
You did, yeah.
But then again, it's because I like keep changing my armies in that, so I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm not thinking. I just get a bucket load of dice and I throw them
At your opponent
at
until
my
they run out.
opponent. I work out how many attacks my entire army's going to have, put all the dice in a box and just go...
And of course, the other advantage of Age of Sigmar is you can just say, oh, I didn't get to go first, so obviously I lost. That's a perfect excuse in that, right?
Oh, but go, 40k's turned into a shooting game. Hello? It's men in space with guns. They're gonna shoot.
Yeah.
Hand-to-hand combat should, in my theory, the way I think, should be redundant in something like 40k. Because of all the fucking weaponry you've got.
Yeah.
You should never get to fucking hand-to-hand combat.
I mean, you shouldn't really get to that scale of battle, really.
Well, no, you should just go, just bomb the world.
Yeah, you'd be doing big, massive, epic stuff. Epic.
Oh, those were the days.
The world was young and we were even younger.
We had less facial hair. Wow. Right,
Let's find
what do we know?
some people that are
What do we know
talking
about
stuff.
other stuff?
Well, I had a thing.
Did you get a cream for it?
Yeah. So, you hate Critical Role.
Fucking can't stand D&D.
However, something that I found quite interesting about it the other day.
They're stopping it?
They had a big fight, and that happened, right? And Matt Mercer, the DM, right? Blah blah blah. I'm getting to my point. So they had a big fight, and then people in the chat, because it's on Twitch, people in the chat were like, "Oh, you should do this," and "Oh, you forgot this," and blah 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 blah. And there's been a lot of like, they've been like, well, it's the chat. People chat about stuff. That's the point. Like, there's nothing we can do about it. But there's been a lot of like bounce back from people saying, why do they can't see what you're writing because they're playing the fucking game, so don't bother.
How have these people ever heard of things called house rules?
Well, yeah, house rules. You know, you're playing a game. You're in the middle of a game. You're going to get rules wrong unless you're playing in a versus game in a tournament. That's the only reason why the rules should specifically matter. Like, if I'm sitting across from you and we're fighting each other, then yes, you need to be aware of every little rule, right? Otherwise, you're playing a fucking game.
But you're role playing, and it's not.
Yeah.
See, that's the problem I find with something like D&D. Is this? Oh, the rules, blah blah blah. The rules are there to be fucking broken and not used if you don't want to.
Yeah.
It's purely up to the players and the GM on what rules they use.
Yeah.
Just because these rules are in a rule book for role playing doesn't mean you have to use them.
Yeah.
I mean, Christ, I hardly ever use any of the rules in any of my games.
No.
Because I completely forget them all the time. But if you're telling a story and you want your story to progress quickly or well, then you don't think,
cut bits out,
I'm sorry,
or add
but
bits.
you haven't had any food for 16 weeks according to my thing, so you're dead.
Yeah.
Ah.
But there was even an in-game moment when because they were on a ship at the time, and someone said, "Oh, actually, that should be 5 foot square." And it's like, it's a fancy world. You're being attacked by fucking fish zombies. We can do like, how big's the fucking boat? It's this big because I've designed the boat. That's how big it is. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, if you're playing a historical game, then fine. You need to fucking magic wood. I don't know. The wood's bigger or lighter or stronger or whatever. It's another world. And I was getting irate on their behalf.
Theatre of the mind, people!
Yeah, and I was getting irate on their behalf, like, because people are, it's like, fucking, He's the DM. What he says is law, effectively. And, you know, they're really... You don't like it, and that's fine.
If people have got nothing better to do than whinge about people missing rules out of a role-playing game, fuck off.
Yeah.
Just a thought. I mean,
Yeah.
really?
And this is a campaign that's been going on for...
Ages.
It must be nearly 2 years.
So did the people did the Critical Role people turn around and say "fuck you" to the others?
Not quite to that extreme,
But they meant it.
But you could tell, like.
Well, in that case, hats off to you guys at Critical Role. Well done.
Matt
Because
Mercer was very not political, diplomatic about it.
Fuck that, I wouldn't have been.
I was running for X amount of stat blocks with various different NPCs. I had personal stuff that I wanted them to do, and they all had homebrewed rules. So, whatever. It is what it is.
See, that's what a lot of people that are commenting aren't realising, are they?
Because it's their game. Like, we watch it as viewers, like in the same way people watch us, but we're the ones playing the game. Do you know what I mean? Like, we want to do Gaslands with or without certain rules. That's up to us, And if people
at the end of the day, we've bought it, so that copy is our game.
Yeah.
So we play it how we want. We don't have to play by all the fucking rules.
Yeah.
Oh,
but that then leads into, pardon me, your game is your game. But if you play a game, if we play Warcry, which is a kind of a more tournament-y, miniatures-y game, and we use a couple of house rules because fuck it, and we want to do that, and then we go to a big tournament, then you have to know the proper rules.
Yeah,
but that's different, isn't it?
That's different.
Yeah.
That is very different.
And of course, we're quite lucky in that we've got our personal kind of shared experience of the games, rather than going to a big club where you've got 20 people who, how do you deal with that then? If you're like, oh, fuck it, I messed up the rules. He messed up the rules.
Oh, you don't. Oh, no, you shouldn't have done that. You should have done so and so and so and so, because that would have got you so and so and so and so. Fuck off.
I can get a bit rulesy, but...
You can get quite salty.
I can get quite salty and quite rulesy, but I enjoy that aspect of the game, but I don't mean to do it at a detriment of someone else,
No, it's just people are stupid most of the time. So, do we have any questions?
We've got some comments. I don't know if any of them are questions. I haven't.
Oh, hello. There's a comment coming for that.
Yeah. Klaus Christensen says Mansions of Madness 2nd edition is awesome, and everyone should be playing it at least once in a while. Yes, we should play that again at some point. Good game.
We should indeed.
For those of you who don't know, Mansions of Madness is a Cthulhu-based game for Fantasy Flight games. It's based on an app, so all the things you do on the board are referencing an app, and you can do puzzles on the app and stuff like that. So that it's always surprising. In the last game we played,
we failed.
But you were never sure how many turns you had.
No.
So you had a certain time of the day, we've got to go here and do this thing, but you only got a day to do it. You weren't sure how many turns that was going to consist of, which I really like, because normally you see, it's turn 1, now it's turn 2, turn 4, this will happen, but you don't know.
It was fun.
Yeah, really good.
It was a lot of fun.
So thank you, Klaus.
Mind you, got to buy extra expansions for that, haven't we?
Well, there's always something else, isn't there?
Always something else. Always.
Always.
Oh, you two. That's porn, Parker, you dirty, grubby man.
Gregory S. Ahoy hoy to you from Gunbarrel City. Ahoy hoy. I'm bummed to have missed the live session of the Mumbling. As always, next time. Did either of you get a chance to explore Discord? Until Straw embraces 5e, I'll be hammered. I did...
We have got a Discord channel now.
Get a Discord, and I think I sent you a link to it. I think. Hit me up on Twitter. I am Vitruvian Goblin on Twitter.
Or just hit him.
And then I will send you a link. Because I think that's how it works. You have to send someone an invite or something in Discord.
Do I know? I think so.
We have one. It was active for about 3 days, and we haven't used it since. But not just because we haven't, but no one's been on it really.
No one likes us.
No one likes you.
Boo-hoo.
Oh yeah, the links aren't working, but I've sorted that now. Cynthia. Ahoy hoy to you, Cynthia, of Urban Manhunt fame and many other games from Spectrum Publishing, I believe.
Yep.
Speaking as a publisher, as paper and print costs go up, I think we'll see even more of the short and sweet games, harkening back to the types of books like Star Frontiers, Marvel Superheroes and Paranoia. There will always be a market for massive, beautiful tomes, but we're seeing the beginning of a different trend. Yeah, this was something we were talking about before, weren't we?
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
Funnily enough, Gaslands is that kind of thing where you don't spend huge amounts of
Urban Manhunt.
money up front. Exactly, Urban Manhunt. And these kind of smaller,
Independence.
more independent things. And actually, I'm going to pause on that. This was a conversation we were having on Tuesday night with our role-playing group. So Nick is currently running Legend of the Five Rings. I think it's 2nd edition rules he's using. I think it's on 6th or something now. I don't know. It's Fancy Flight. Really good game. Having lots of fun with it. Fucking hard because it's proper thinky, but enjoying it. And he's now part of a Cambridge role-playing group. Although he doesn't role-play with them, he's kind of with them on Facebook and stuff. And 90% of the people are, oh, you want to play D&D 5th edition? Oh, you want to play D&D 5th edition? And we were like, and he was like, there's fucking how many games out there? There's an almost infinite variety of games.
I have been saying that for fucking years.
Yeah. And we were getting into a conversation about, well, why do people only want to play 5th edition D&D? And my point was, it's kind of like the radio. Like if D&D 5e is Radio 1, and you listen to Radio 1, you're never gonna find, like, where are you gonna find
Anything else apart from fire? I see.
Do you know what I mean? Like how many, like, or obviously Critical Role is the big one, but there are so many Twitch streams and so many YouTube channels talking about D&D 5th edition. One of the guys I followed, I think it's called Taking 20. I started following because he did a lot of Starfinder stuff, and we were playing that at the time. But he doesn't do Pathfinder, he doesn't do Starfinder anymore. He stopped doing all of the other games because 5e is... It's kind of like 40k. Like, if you go into Warhammer, what used to be Games Workshop, and you said, hello, I want to play a game, cool, 40k. Oh, we also have this other game. But where are you going to just go, oh, does anyone play Bushido near me? How are you going to find that? Unless you've got a friendly local gaming store, and even then, you have to play the games that they play because it's what's popular there at the time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think with 5e it's kind of the same thing. If you don't know anything else, how are you going to find it?
Well, we're telling you now, there are fucking billions of other games out there.
You think it, and it will be there.
And there are lots of them are a lot better than D&D. So go find them and play them.
There's the
next.
Sunfire SG. Oi, Sunfire. Entertaining as always. Looking forward to Gaslands.
Shit game for wankers.
Funnily enough, we literally just played that today. Gregory S. also says Gaslands next time. Yeah!
What is it with you fucks?
We literally just finished playing the Gaslands.
Oh my god, all the games out there and you just want to play Gaslands. Ugh.
No one else plays it.
Surprised it's a crap game for wankers.
Did you? Oh. Guess spoilers.
Spoiler alert!
It was your own fault. It was your own fault.
No, it was a fun game. It was a fun game. Has it made me want to play more? No.
No, I didn't want to play more. Gregory S. says, looks like the pen is truly mightier than the sword.
Ah, that's when I stabbed you to death with a pen.
Oh, that was mean.
That's because you deserved it.
That makes me think of the bit in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade with the tank and he squirts the guy in the eye with the ink from the pen. The pen! The pen is mightier than the sword! Remember?
Yeah.
We do as well. You were like, twat, twat. Oh yeah, no, it is.
Divvy. Oh yeah. I remember.
Here we go. Speaking of games we don't play,
God.
is there any chance, we just mentioned it a little while ago, any chance of sliding a bit of Burrows and Badgers action into your vids again? Such a good game. Again, it's so many minis, so many games, so little time.
Oh, I was going through my boxes the other day because I needed some certain figures for something, and I couldn't find them, so I was going through every box I had, and I opened up one of my big boxes, and it's a whole load of Burroughs and Badger stuff, all prepped and ready for painting. I'm like, oh fuck! And then I realised that under my desk where I'm working at the moment, I've got the latest Kickstarter in, and I'm like,
right.
oh fuck! So
More stuff.
yes, we can give that another go at some point because that's just a fun little game. I like that.
Also, 7TV maybe, especially now you've got a mini painted.
Isn't that a dead game now?
No, it's only dead in that we never got around to playing it after like 2 and a bit years of me having it.
Dead game.
No.
Apparently it's a really good game. Wouldn't know.
There was a
Kickstarter
new Kickstarter coming.
So we might get some done.
Yeah. All I have to do is paint some mini.
Oh, but they're simple minis, as you've already
They
said.
are, yeah, and I really enjoyed painting the little scientist dude. Gaslands, yes please, refueled question mark from Button Polyps. Just did it today. Paul Richardson, which is Paolo01, right? Just people change their names on these things.
Yeah, damn you.
Ahoy hoy! A most excellent mumble. Excellent! I became exceedingly moist at one point.
Ooh.
How are the Battle Hammer? Question mark. What new games have you got your collective eyes on? Question mark. The eyeballs. I don't like new games. I don't know.
He's just trying to play all the old ones still.
Yeah, that's it really.
It's just playing. We just want to go back and play some of the old ones and keep up with obviously the newer stuff that's coming out. I mean, we've just started to get into Necromunda again, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Just like playing Gaslands again, so there'll be more of that. But as for something new,
Mythos is coming.
yeah, obviously we'll be hitting that
That's
hard.
coming. Dystopian Wars I'm really looking forward to, but that's been delayed for various reasons. China. The long and the short of it is they had stuff coming from China that now isn't because of
Some virus.
some, I think it's a computer virus.
Zombie virus.
So they're waiting for that now.
But no, there's nothing really at the moment that's sort of leaping out because we are just too busy playing all the old stuff. I mean, Wexodus is a huge part of what we do at the moment, and we love it.
Love it. Urban Manhunt we're loving.
Urban Manhunt we are so hot for at the moment, but we have reasons to be very hot for that.
Looking forward to the new book for that is in production or in kind of
the companion, where you get campaign stuff. Yeah, where you have your own houses of House of Hunters. I'm looking forward to that as well. But apart from that, there's not really much. I mean, role playing wise, I've just picked up the Alien RPG because we like filming our role playing sessions, but we're just not getting that many views on it because we have done some obscure games. So we're going to try that.
We've done old editions of obscure games.
Very
as well.
old editions of
games.
games.
Warhammer Fantasy, but like the first edition Warhammer Fantasy from, and we're on 4th now. Same with Earthdawn. Like, oh, you mean Lou Earthdawn? No.
So I'm doing Alien soon for the boys, so that should be interesting.
And actually, going back to it, that's an interesting point about talking about 5e and stuff. Like, it's that kind of thing. And like listening to music, I like to listen to the music that I like. I know that I like it, so I listen to it more. Like, and then sometimes I'll find something new, but normally it will kind of go, oh, that's quite cool, and then it'll go away. But I'll still listen to Queen again. Yeah. Fun Loving Criminals because I like them. Or whatever, and I think it's kind of the same thing with role-playing games when you go online. Like, everyone knows 5e. What the fuck is Earthdawn?
Yeah.
Why would I sit here for 2.5 hours to watch this game I've never heard of? Do you know what I mean? And yeah, if you dip your toe in and you play it, you're probably going to really enjoy it. But I think if you already know D&D 5th edition or whatever, and that's your bubble, and yeah, you can go, oh, I want to play if not an evil campaign, then like, what is it, Ravenloft, like Curse of Strahd, like undeady kind of thing, and it's still the same game, but I can go that undeady kind of gothic route, or I can go deserty, or whatever it is.
So it's a shame because what people are doing is they're not watching us because we don't do 5e, and that's your mistake.
Because they won't know that because these people do.
I know, because our role-playing stuff is fucking phenomenal. We are awesomely good.
Well, we're there.
We turn up, don't we?
We do turn
up. But no, we are very good at what we do. We just don't know what we do.
Oh man. Nothing. idea for later. Nothing.
Moist. Anything else?
Thinking about Alien.
Yes. I like the system actually. It's a nice little system.
Jonathan Lane, ahoy hoy to you, Jonathan Lane. Can we donate organs or relatives?
No, money only.
No. Money would be good. You can find our Patreon link in the comments down below, in the comments down below, in the doobly-doo.
In the doobly-doo.
Failing that.
Well, you can donate on there as well, can't you?
Well, you can do one-offs, I think, through Patreon.
Yeah, you can do
you
one-offs
can
on
do.
there. Want to give us £1 billion?
We've got stuff that you can buy us. You can buy through affiliate links and other things that you can do on there. That would be cool if you did that.
It would, because we are really struggling at the moment, aren't we, with everything. Money-wise, we just had to spend £600 on a fucking dog to have his tooth removed. I wouldn't mind, but that's my fucking toy money for 3 months up the fucking wall.
Yeesh. Do you get to keep the bits of tooth?
Oh, you can fucking shove them back up his arse.
No, you carve them into toy soldiers like little 8mm dudes.
No.
No.
Is there anything else? Are there any other questions?
Because Titanicus, we've got to play that at some point.
Yes, we have got to play Titanicus. We've got so much to play still. It's just because we now film like we film a session every 3 weeks. That's the why.
Why did that sound like? Oh, because of the
speaker. Just check. Should be collecting, I hope. Yeah, because I was about to wrap this up. It's just because we're now trying to change the way we film slightly to make it better produced for you guys to sit and watch. So that takes us a little longer to when we're filming and then the editing and everything else. So it's just we're now having to, like we do it Thursday afternoon, we have a quick game of something, and then the Thursday evening we chat to decide what we're going to be doing. Then the Fridays when we do our main block of filming, be it 2 or 3 games of the same game, just so we can then stockpile them for later. And then Saturdays, if we're running behind on videos, we can film another one. But Saturdays are going to be like, let's just kick back and play a game for us day. Let's learn some rules for this game, that kind of thing. So we are really having to look at the calendar about what stuff we are wanting to film, what stuff we are wanting to play, and that kind of thing. So it's a little bit hit and miss at the moment in organisation, but once we get there...
We're trying to have Friday nights be our release date for new videos. Apart from Mumbles will be whenever.
Mumbles will be going up whenever, but yeah...
whenever, but we're trying to be like Friday night...
6:15. Boom.
And that's when the new video is, and as soon as I get a new laptop, which hopefully will be in the next week or two, been kind of saving up for that, then I'll be putting stuff up on Sunday nights as well. And
I'll be filming some stuff with Chris and the guys from the shop, so there'll be...
And then it'll kind of get back to normal-ish, as normal as we do.
As normal as we do. So if there's anything you do want to see, let us know. If there's any questions you want to ask us, put them in the comments in the section below.
To hear your questions and thoughts.
This Mumble.
What do you think about this? Well, we think
it's shit.
It's rubbish.
But as importantly, there's always one thing to do, isn't there?
Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you like it, want to subscribe. If you don't like it and don't want to subscribe, you don't have to like and subscribe, but we would like it if you liked. And subscribe. And until next time, stay hammered. Copyright.